This episode of the Pu'u Muay Thai podcast is brought to you by pmtlifestyle.com, Authentic Muay Thai Lifestyle by Pu'u. Definitely go check out the website at pmtlifestyle.com for some awesome lifestyle merchandise. That's for those of you out there either involved in Muay Thai, looking at getting involved in Muay Thai, and embrace a healthier lifestyle to live the life of a Nok Muay. Go check it out.
All right, so we got Coach Eric Adams in today, fresh off his line fight. We just had our Monday morning meeting. Yeah, man. So I know you didn't get the victory on the judges' scorecards, but you fought this weekend at Line Fight 63. Tell me about it.
Yeah, it was a great experience. I'm thankful for Lion Fight being able to bring me on. It's a good opportunity, and I was happy to be able to perform for them. I didn't get the decision I wanted, but it's just some mistakes I made on my end that will be fixed in the future for upcoming fights. Yeah,
man. So your opponent, you fought, it was Joe Sanderson, right?
Correct.
Sanderson. Cool. So you fought 3 rounds, and you were telling me we're talking a little bit before. So it's amateur Muay Thai, which is normally no knees to the head, but they changed that up. You told me that they were allowing knees to the head. Is that correct?
Yeah, a little bit last minute. They switched the rules up, knees to the head. They gave me the opportunity to be able to pull out of that rule if I wanted, but I was kind of like, that's kind of a cool opportunity, and maybe I can land a knee to the head.
Yeah.
So it ended up just kind of backfiring on my end, and I was the only one who got kneed in the head, but that's okay. It was I need to get used to that anyways, because I'm not going to stay amateur forever. So
exactly, man. You got used to I figured having everything open for you.
Yeah, I figured why not? Let's just do full rules and get used to it. There was a lot of knees thrown at my head, and only about one landed. So I did pretty good there. But that being said, it only takes one. So
yeah, and Joe, we knew going into that fight that he was very strong in the clinch.
Yeah, that's that guy's bread and butter. That's what he does. He wants to clench you up, and just as much as I want to strike him up on the outside. So a lot of the fight after the first round ended up in his area of expertise a little more than mine.
Mm-hmm.
So
so tell me a little bit. We're talking about we'll come back to the fight here in a sec. So let's talk about your training prep. So you moved out to California in November. Training is, we're talking about that too. We had shutdowns and made training harder. Couldn't get a lot of sparring in, stuff like that too. For me, I wish I was there, man. I feel like I'm like, damn it. Like if I could have been there, like I could have helped with some more of the clinch stuff too. And I felt guilty about that because that's how I am. I want to do everything I can to help support the team and everything too. And it sucked being here and not being able to help you out in prep. I know we have awesome instructors and stuff too. But I guess you were back and forth between Colorado and Ventura leading up to your fight too. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was, a couple weeks there, a few weeks here. Which was cool, but at the same time, I wasn't getting altitude acclimated very well, just swapping back and forth.
Yeah.
So, I'd be going up there and, I'd be like having a conversation with someone talking. I'd be like, I'm out of breath, which is weird because that's where I'm from. So,
welcome
not
to the
used
club,
to that.
Man. Welcome to the club.
I guess that's what it's like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, but I mean, other than that, I still think I was getting good training, but that the physical aspect of it, going back and forth, that wasn't helping much with the altitude and all that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's a good lesson. Like I was sharing with you before, like, I fought in Mexico City a couple times, and it's a little bit higher than Denver. I think it's an extra like, I don't know, 500 feet or something like that. I don't know how much more it was. But like, yeah, altitude is no joke. Like the first time I felt that, like when I went there, I quartered my friend before I fought. And I was like, so his name is Born. I'm like, so Born, how it feels like, man, it's hard to breathe in there. And I just remember thinking like, fuck.
Yeah.
So, and it's like, it feels like, it reminds me a lot of training in Thailand. Like when you first get there and it's like all the humidity, it's very thick air. It feels like.
Yeah.
So I can understand how that feels. And then you add in clinching aspect too. That makes it that much harder, man. That much harder.
Right.
So you went out there and it was awesome. You got to connect with your team in Denver. You had one of your friends corner you and stuff like that too. Going into the fight and everything, I know we were working a little bit on some of the clinch stuff, and I was talking to Coach Ryan about it and stuff too, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that aspect of your game evolves over the coming months for you too. That way you just have those extra tools in there. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I mean, I don't look at it as much of a choice. It's going to have to improve.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to do Muay Thai versus kickboxing, I'm going to have to get pretty efficient in that clinch. So that's coming. Like if we watched the first round of my fight, I was doing pretty good in the clinch. I was relaxed. I was not trying to muscle it. I wasn't trying to push forward, the whole time, which I started once I got tired, I defaulted back to what I would just always used to do. And that kind of bit me in the ass. So, but now it's going to stick for sure because I hate losing. I don't want to lose again. It'll probably happen, but at some point, but definitely don't want to. I don't like that feeling. So,
no.
That's going to stick with me, and I think it's going to make me better in the long run.
Yeah. And, going through like, and learning by experience, that's where that ring time comes in as like an amateur, right? Is to get those experiences. Like you're saying, if you're going to be fighting in Muay Thai and kickboxing, it's like, you have to be able to switch between both. So like, it's like, hey, you're fighting Muay Thai, you need to be able to be proficient in the clinch, either enough to utilize it, understand it, and whether you use it or not is up to you. But then also being able, it'll give you a better way to defend against it, right? So I guess talk to me about like round by round as best of your memory. I watched the video. So the first round, you came out pretty strong. What happened in the first round?
Well, I come out and I flow the jab out there. I wanted to see what he was going to counter with. He immediately throws an inside leg kick at me, and I just used the opportunity to throw my cross hook low kick right at him. He obviously, after I saw that, didn't want to try chop to the leg. I could see he backed away, and when I watched the last fight, he checked the leg kick. So I was like, okay, like I know he's not going to want that smoke if I'm throwing heat. Anyways, he comes back in. I give him a good teep, and right after I teep him, I watch his hands drop because he tried to catch it. So normally when I see that, it lets me know that the head's going to be open. So I lifted up the knee, showed the front teep, but then I wrapped it around into a front leg question mark kick, and it landed perfect, and it dropped him.
It was
And
clean. A couple of the students who saw it, like, how did he not go completely out from that?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was clean. It wasn't a lot of power though, but it just landed so perfect, you know, and that's probably why I didn't completely finish him. But he, like what my coach said, look, he thought he was struck by lightning or something.
Yeah. Well, he
And
looked confused. You know, it's like, you know, like what the hell just hit me? You know.
yeah, and he was, you know, he came up and told me after, so he was a little confused on it. I let him know what I hit him with after, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, he rallied back, you know, just like he did in this last fight, and
The last fight, it almost played out like, well, he TKO'd the guy in the last fight. He didn't TKO you. But
yeah,
he came back after he got dropped with a head kick, left head kick too, wasn't it?
it was a right head kick with the other guy.
So, and he came back and got into the clinch and he grinded out in the clinch. And he basically started doing the same thing to you. Is that correct?
Basically, yeah. I mean, he just grabbed me at all costs, you know, and you know,
that boy was committed to that clinch, man. I saw him how he was trying to jump in and do everything he could to close that distance.
That's all he wanted was that clinch. So
I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to get hit by you either, man. I wouldn't want to get punched or kicked by you either.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
Yeah. You kick freaking hard. So going into like after round number 1, you won that first round. You know, got the head kick knocked down in the first round. Second round came out. How'd the second round play out?
Second round, I was going for that. And I was trying to crack him, you know, and maybe a little too much. I was just looking for that big shot, and maybe looking back, I should have been maybe just trying to chop his leg, you know, hard, and trying to get him off balance so he's not able to run forward and grab me as much. But as he's reaching in, I'm trying to pop him with the right hand, you know, pop him with an uppercut, you know, something. And a few of them would land. It's just, it wasn't enough with how he was like running in so hard, trying to grab the clinch. And then I'd wrestle with him a little bit in the clinch, you know, move around. But I started really like trying to muscle him a lot. You know, I was trying to push him into the ropes. I was trying to press forward, and all I was doing was I was giving him the opportunity to turn me.
Yeah.
And he almost did it every time.
Yeah, he did. Like, it was like textbook, like, hey, the push pull, that kinesthetic awareness, someone pushed into you, you can sweep them.
So he did that, and quite a bit of times tripped me, you know, kind of made me look a little stupid there. You know, it's just you know, I fell through the ropes at one point. God, that was so I just forgot I just like defaulted and forgot all my clinch training, and it backfired on me. So
I mean, it comes into time, you know, like with clinch, it really takes like, I'm gonna say it takes like at least like 8-9 months of solid clinching, like on a consistent basis, a few times a week, to really like make it so you default to like not do that kind of stuff, you know, if you haven't been doing it. So like you gotta give yourself credit to be able to go out there and execute even in that first round, because it's not easy to do when that's someone else's game, and you're playing in their realm at that point when you're in there. So give yourself some credit on that for sure. Like, be proud of that first round, and like having the awareness too of like knowing that you need to, it's something you're working on. It's like, hey, I got caught up into his game and forgot some of those fundamental rules on it, and you'll be able to come back. And I'm looking forward to seeing you, like I said, in the next like few months. I feel like that's gonna be a big game changer for you from this fight. That's a big lesson for you to learn from it.
Absolutely.
So round 2 came to a close. What happened in round 3?
Round 3, I go back to my corner after round 2, and I'm like, fuck, man, I just lost that round. And I hate losing round 2 because like that can be like the momentum shift, right?
Yeah.
So I went back to round 2 and I'm like, fuck, man. Like, sorry for the swearing, but
Okay.
I'm just thinking like I need to figure out how to turn this fight back around because, you know, I really don't want to lose. And I was even like fighting myself, like, because I'm so tired. I'm just like, I can't breathe. You know, all my muscles are just cramped up 100%.
The worst.
And I'm like just trying to get everything back. And I'm like, okay, I gotta win this. You know, I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna keep him away. I gotta lift my leg. He's instantly back in on me. I'm like, are you kidding me, man? Like, yeah. So, yeah, he just gets that clinch again, and that's when I'm really like, I'm just like trying to muscle him everything I got. And again, I should be relaxing. I'm not. I'm muscling him, and he's throwing knees to my head, to my body, and I'm just trying to separate and do whatever, you know, just so I can get some space and just hit him with a bomb or something, you know, get him off me.
Mm-hmm.
A couple times I would, but it's just that I couldn't get a clean shot on him. And
you just come right back, yeah?
Yeah, at one point in the fight, he knees me right in the solar plex. I'm like, and like, I even thought about like, shit, I might drop if I get hit with that again.
Yeah.
And he goes to throw another one. I just lift my leg up. I check it.
Oh.
I'm like, all right, there we go. And then he just sweeps me. I'm like, so I was just like,
yeah, I got one. No, never mind.
Yeah, there's like, I hear that clacker go off and I'm like, I just need to blast him, you know? And like, I think I get some separation again. I go to crack him again. I can't get a clean shot again. And, you know, I knew after 2 rounds down, I knew I had that 10-8 in the first, but knew I lost that second, and that third, I lost that. So I was like, it's either a draw or
decision,
or it's gonna be a decision on his end, you know. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah. Well, I think it was, like I said, good experience, man, and I feel like you represented pretty well, and I think, you know, there's a lot of opportunities going to be out there from you on that, and props to was it SKN Muay Thai and those guys?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, from what you told me, there's nothing but like respect from them too. Nothing, no disrespect or anything like that either, which is always
nice guy. You know, talked to him after the fight, and he's a nice guy. You know, pretty cool. You know, just telling me he plays in a band, and he's like, I can't do any shows right now, so I'm just doing this now. You know, yeah, Muay Thai. So he's like, I'm just going full on with this until I can start playing shows again. It's pretty cool.
Sweet, man. Well, yeah, anything you want to say, share with anybody out there before we close out the show?
You know, loss isn't the worst thing. You know, you can learn a lot from it, and just keep going, because maybe your next fight's right. Your next best fight ever is right around the corner. So it could be your next showing, and
yeah, man.
And that's what I think for me. You know, after I watched that footage of my first round, it was beautiful, like textbook, and you know, I just look at the potential of that being every round.
Yeah, man. I see the same thing for you. And that's why it's like, I think over the coming, give yourself 3-4 months, I see you getting some like pretty solid gains out of that, from that. Because it's very small things that to tighten up, and it's just you're gonna be able to paint a good round 2 and 3, and then 4 and 5 when you go pro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man. Well, sweet. Well, with that said, man, you have a good rest of your day. Have a kick-ass day of classes and stuff like that. And I know everybody's going to be stoked to see you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
All right, man. Take care. Have a great rest of your day.
All right, you too. Thanks, Jonathan.
Thanks, Eric. Bye-bye. All right, that's it today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys are listening on iTunes, please go leave a review. It means the world to me if you enjoy the content, if you like hearing about all the stuff that has to do with Muay Thai and what we're doing. Also, there's another way to support us. If you guys visit our Patreon link, it's in the show notes. Also on our YouTube, if you go to pmtlifestyle.com, there's a Patreon link up at the top. You can support us for as little as $5 a month. To get some behind-the-scenes footage, things of that nature, to see what we're doing behind the scenes for Pu'u Muay Thai, what we're trying to get going. Also, you can get some early access clips. You can also get t-shirts, merchandise, and a few other things as perks of being a patron. Again, go check that out. It's at pmtlifestyle.com.